What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Set Point Sessions. This is episode number, what'd you say, Andrew? 17?
17.
17. Oh my gosh. If you have listened to 1 through 16 and up to now, thank you for
You're a
being
real one.
you're a valued customer of Set Point Sessions. You're a
That's
real
right.
one. Thank you so
That's
much
right.
for that. But
Appreciate you.
here we talked last time about off-season work and kind of what athletes should do, what they should think about going into the off-season. Well, tick-tock, the clock has turned a little bit and we are in gear for the fall season for high school athletics and collegiate athletics, I guess.
That's right.
So you want to tell the people what we're talking about today?
Yeah, so today our focus is now gonna shift from off-season work into tryouts and how to mentally attack and be prepared for and what to do during tryouts. And, you know, I kinda like recording episodes like this because we're recording it now. What are we, 10 days or so away from the first day of high school tryouts for fall
Week and a
sports?
half or something, yeah.
Yeah, but, this is if you're not a fall sport athlete, you can listen to this, at the beginning of November when you're getting ready for winter sports, or you can listen to this at the end of February as you're getting ready for spring sports. Just, this is gonna be something that I think is gonna be applicable to lots of different athletes all throughout the school year, and so I'm kind of excited to get in and share my thoughts from the coach's perspective. And we've kind of been through it as athletes as well,
Yep.
back in the day and
Way back when.
way, you're talking about the clock turning. It has turned a time or
Yeah.
two,
A couple times.
but hopefully we can share some good experience and some good advice for the athletes going into what's, I think, usually a pretty pressure filled few days. Whether it's a 3 day
Mhm.
tryout or a 5 day tryout week. I feel like from the athlete's perspective, they often think that it's pretty pressure packed, and some of them may maybe even think like it's do or die
Yeah,
kind of thing
it's a
right off
lot.
the bat.
It's a lot for, like, the amount of time because especially as coaches, you and me, we gotta figure out our best possible team. I mean, tennis is a little bit different than football and volleyball and such like that, but
Right.
we have to figure out the players that we want to represent our team and that are best to the best lineup to put out there, and so it's challenging for us too, not just for the athletes, it's challenging for the coaches too, and I think that's kind of maybe something that athletes can, that can give them a little bit of peace of mind is, like, it's not just stressful for them, it's stressful for everybody. And
Yep.
that's kinda just the way it is. Those that week or however long your tryout process is hectic for everybody involved.
Yep. Definitely.
So so what does our tryout process look like at Olathe South Tennis? So, I know it's obviously different than a lot of people do for their tennis programs, but, kinda talk everybody through what we do.
Yeah, so for our tryouts, we have a 4 day tryout process. It used to be a 5 day tryout process, but then some things outside of our control kind of forced our hand to cut down to four. And I actually kind of like it. I like the four
Yep.
day tryout. The first 2 days, we have everybody together. Those are kind of crazy days as far as, trying to set up and organize a practice that's effective. We have four courts at our campus courts, and a good number of players per court is 4 players per court, and so that's kind of a maximum of 16. We usually have 20 to 25, maybe even more than that try out. So we usually have
Yep.
more players than spaces on our court, and so,
It's tough.
it's kinda tough getting people the amount of reps that they want, and that I want to be able to see and evaluate, but
Mhm.
we make it work. So the first 2 days are kinda drills, with some conditioning thrown in there, and, my goal as a coach is to see as many people hit as many balls as possible in those first 2 days. It's a good thing now that I've kind of, established my summer program, and we have our returners from the previous seasons and things like that, where I kinda know where people are at and, where they were during the summer or where they were at the end of last season. But, ultimately none of that matters. We're looking at the here and now, what's going on in this season. So it's always my goal to just watch as many people hit as many balls as possible during those first 2 days. I do offer a little bit, but it's not my main objective to offer, the coaching advice and the feedback on things. I try to, save that for when we get into, post tryout part of our
Yeah.
season. when we're actually, trying to work and improve our skills.
'Cause these
After
kids
the
have
first
enough on their minds, like,
Yeah.
during that
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
process that I mean, even just going out there and trying to play a match, a challenge match or something, there's so much going on mentally up here that doing something different on a forehand probably is not like, it's just probably gonna make things worse. I wanna see where you're at. I wanna see where we're starting
Exactly.
from, and we can build up from there. Tryouts is not the time to make those coaching changes, so to speak.
Exactly. We often
Yeah,
talk about when we try to make coaching changes or, give that feedback, sometimes things get a little bit worse. You got a grip change or your service motion is different. Things are gonna get a little bit worse before they're gonna get better. And it's not necessarily the right time to try and make those kinds of changes in the first 2 days of the season. So
right.
after those drill days are done, we have our challenge matches. And so we have two, hopefully the goal is always to get everything done in 2 days. We split our players up into groups kind of based on what we see the first couple of days through drills. And you, if you're a player for us, will play everybody in your group. And sometimes we, shift people from one group to the next, or, up or down, or crossover groups, from Wednesday into Thursday. Sometimes we don't get everything done. Maybe we have a little bit bigger group that doesn't get everything played. We can finish those matches on Friday or maybe the following Monday. From there, we establish, our ladder for the team, which is, one through whatever.
Yep.
it Tennis coaches sometimes talk about how it's easier for us to make a ladder or a depth chart or something, however you want to talk about it, than it might be for something else like football or basketball, because we can use head-to-head results, match results, to do that. I agree in some sense, but I don't necessarily agree in others, because sometimes I beat you, Austin, you beat that person, and that person beats me, and now we have a triangle, and
Who's
who
the better
goes
player?
above who, and that's
Yep.
when we as coaches have to make our best judgment and just simply make a decision on who goes where on the ladder. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what the first 4 days look like. Sometimes in the fall, beginning in the middle of August, we have to deal with some heat issues that kind of limit our time on the court, which really sucks, especially when I'm trying to see as many people hit balls as possible. If we're only allowed an hour or an hour and a half on the courts, it's really hard to do that. But we make it happen as best as we can.
Adapt and
Yeah, so
overcome, right?
that's right, that's right. Gotta roll with the flow, go with the
It's the
flow.
name of the game.
That's right.
Roll with the flow, roll with the punches, roll with the
There
thunder, roll you just gotta roll
You just
sometimes,
gotta roll. Roll on,
Just gotta
baby.
roll. So, as a coach, I wanna know what you would say to somebody trying out for a sport for the first time. Not somebody who's played tennis and they're trying out for tennis, they've played it. I'm talking somebody who's just trying a new sport, somebody who wants to go out there and play volleyball for the first time. What from a coaching perspective, what's your advice for that?
Or maybe like a freshman coming into the team for the
There you
first
go.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, first time, you're probably gonna have a little bit of nerves. You're gonna be around some people that you've never been around before, or maybe people that you've been around, but maybe not in that setting, a little bit more athletic or maybe more competitive than just hanging out at the house playing video games or whatever. My advice, and I think that I'll probably say this more than once today, my advice would be not to try to be somebody that you're not. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Don't try to be fake. Don't try to do too much athletically, whatever your sport is. Don't try to do too much of it on the court. Don't try to hit shots that you're not comfortable hitting or that you don't have confidence in. Don't when we talk about the intangibles, the hustle, the going to pick up balls. If we're talking about tennis, some people, if I have a couple of balls that got left out and I say, hey, I need somebody to go pick those up. If that's who you are, then go do it. But if you go do it and hustle over there on day one, and then that's, maybe I remember that and think, I like that person for hustling over to pick up those balls, and then you don't do it ever again. I don't want you don't want to give your coach the wrong
The
impression of you,
wrong idea. Yep.
whether that's on the court or off the court. So be yourself. Don't try to live up to somebody else's standards, and just do the best you can. Do as good as you can, and let the coaches make the decisions. If you let the coaches make the decisions and you don't try to take things into your own hands, things will work out. And
Yep.
you might not like the coach's decisions later on, and this again goes for everybody, not necessarily just newbies. Might not like what that coach's decision is, but I promise you there's a reason for it. And maybe you don't even like the reason for it. Maybe the coach doesn't tell you the reason for it. But coaches don't make decisions meh just because, right? There is a reason that somebody is on varsity versus JV or JV versus C team or freshman team versus whatever. Like there's a reason for it. And you need to trust that your coach not only has your best interest in mind, but their job is also to have the team's best
Yep.
interest in mind.
Yep. I think that's
And
where people get lost sometimes is
yeah,
they think that they're, need to be in this spot or they deserve this position or I need to be a starter, or whatever it is. But there's so much more than just an ability that comes into play when it comes to putting a team together. And I
yeah,
think ano- that's a great thing that tryouts are for is to see how the team kind of meshes. If you put a group of, tennis players out there together and they're jawing at each other, probably not the best, combination on the court. And we
yeah,
got to make our decisions that way. But yeah, like I said, there's just so much more than skill than just ability that goes into setting a lineup or determining varsity, JV, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. And every sport is different. In a sport like football, you've got 11 people on the field at one time. Basketball, you've got 5 people on the team or on the field or on the court. What am I thinking?
Whoa.
On the court.
What?
That was weird. On the court at one time. Tennis, a lot of people think it's more of an individual sport, but there's a team component, right? You take your team to a tournament and you score points for your team based on your finish, and there's a team aspect of it. And the coach has to manage all of that. You may have put in a lot of work over the off season. You may have made improvements over the off season, but maybe somebody else did also.
Yep.
Maybe once your particular set of skills or your leadership or your attitude to be in the mix with another set of players to maybe show them the ropes or teach them about the program or set the standard for the culture of the team, right? There are so many different things besides how fast can you run or can you make a three-pointer or whatever your sport is? There's so much more than just the skill of your sport
Yeah.
that goes into a coach's decision to put you on a certain team or in a roster spot in a certain spot or whatever the case might be.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. For very good insight from a coach here.
Hey, thanks.
It's like you've done this a time or two.
A few times.
You know, I didn't. I want to take a second to highlight you as the KCA vice president. Help me out here. I
Yep. Second
second,
second vice
second,
president.
second vice president. Andrew spent the last couple days in Salina working at a coach's school, and I think that's awesome that Keisha puts that together and gets all these coaches, or at least gives them the opportunity, especially right before
Yeah.
the season starts, to kind of sharpen their skills, get some new information out there, and some new tactics and stuff. But did was I know you weren't really involved in a lot of the workshops there,
Yeah.
but did is that a topic of conversation among the coaches? Do they share ideas about like what they do on tryouts or like how that whole process goes? Was there anything that you saw like that down there?
Not this time, not I don't think so. Like you said, this time around, I didn't have the opportunity to sit in on any of the sessions.
Because you were
My
too
role
busy administrating, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
role as in the KCA was to, kinda man the booth. I have attended sessions in the past and, some of the sessions are very specific to the sport, kinda walking around. There were sessions, like, for the track, there was how to coach the 800-meter runner.
Mm,
Like, that's a very specific
yep.
session to attend as for a track coach. But then there was the Hoyts, I think it's Jackie and JC, I'm probably getting their names wrong, but it's a mother-daughter coach, the daughter, I think, is the coach women's basketball coach at Oklahoma State right now, like, the head
Nice.
coach,
I think, yeah.
and they gave a presentation on building team culture. Like, that was one that I wanted to be able to sit in on, but I couldn't. But I'm diverging from your question. The coaching school is a really good opportunity just to learn a little bit more about your craft as a coach. I really like the opportunity to network and connect with coaches from all over the state that you might not have that opportunity to do, during your season.
Yep.
Mhm.
Different
And I
classifications, different
Oh,
locations,
yeah,
different
yeah,
stuff like
different
that, yeah.
classes all over. We had coaches from Western Kansas schools, from, 1A schools, towns of 350 people total,
Shout
and
out Pike Valley.
that's right, Pike Valley High School.
Shout out Pike Valley.
And then you obviously have the bigger schools that were coaches from, like, Lawrence Free State and
Mhm.
Mays and the bigger 6A schools, and so it's a really cool mix of coaches. I don't recall ever, having the conversation of tryouts and how coaches manage that. I have talked to coaches, through the season. How do wow, you guys have 35 kids that try out. How do you manage that during tryout week? Or how do you set your lineup? And do you have to make cuts and all of these things? So not necessarily at the coaching school, but there are those conversations that happen for sure between coaches. During the season, beginning of the season, things like that, for sure.
Love it. That's good.
So I mentioned cuts. I wanna talk about cuts a little bit.
You've
Can we
got the
can we
floor, buddy.
can we chat about
Yeah.
the process of making cuts and what happens, how
That's
if an
tough.
athlete feels like they're on the bubble or on the cut line, how
What
to
do you
handle
do?
that?
Yeah.
What do you do, right? So, before I talk too much about making cuts, we've had to do this in the past, the Olathe
Horrible
Southwest program,
experiences.
and
Not great.
it is the absolute worst thing that I've ever done as a coach, is have to cut somebody from my team and tell them that, "I'm sorry, you can't be a part of our team this year."
And it's not because let's specify real quick. It's not
Yep,
because we don't want them on on our team. It's
yep,
because we don't have the space and the availability of courts to have them on our team or the number of coaches, right? Like you and I have talked
yep,
about this.
yep,
And it's probably different for different sports. Well, honestly,
yes,
might be like just the lack of facilities. We want more people on our team,
right,
but the philosophy as coaches between you and me is we want people hitting tennis balls. And if we
exactly,
have 5 people on each court standing around doing nothing, no, they're not benefiting from that. Right. And so
yep,
cuts aren't necessarily mandatory, but they kind of are for the benefit of everybody else on the team. Yeah. So don't, if you're listening to this, don't think that Andrew's a horrible person for cutting kids from the team just because he hates them, or that's not the case at all.
no, yeah,
There's
yeah, you're
reasons why,
exactly right.
right?
You're exactly right. The main reason for us is court space. If we had 6 courts or 8 courts on campus, the size of our team could be much bigger, and
And an
there are
extra
schools
coach.
there are yes, and an extra coach. There are schools that have 8 courts on campus with 3 or 4 coaches, and they have a team of 50 or 55 or
Yep.
60 people. There are schools that have no cut policies that have to make it work. They have a team of
Crazy.
80 or 90 kids, which is absolutely crazy. And they have to, every kid only gets to practice once or twice a week, and they may or may not get to play in a competition for their school. Like, those are choices that those coaches and sometimes the district for that school, those are decisions that those people have made, and those coaches just have to make it work. They have to do what they feel is best for their program, and what I feel is best for my program is to have as many people hitting balls as often as possible. Kind of like you were saying, we don't want people standing in lines. I want kids competing for our school. That's one thing that I'm really proud about. Every person in our program gets the opportunity to represent the program and represent the school in competition a minimum of 4 times probably per season, depends on our team size and what our schedule looks like, but at least 4, 5 times. State rules say they can't do it more than 8 times, but you get my point. It's not like they're competing once and saying, "I did it." No, you get your opportunity over and over, and it's not just a one-time thing. But let's circle back to the cut idea. So, the mentality, like, how does an athlete handle it if you get cut? If you're on the bubble and the coach says, "I'm sorry, we're not gonna have a spot for you on our team this year." I think as the coach, there's kind of two paths from that moment. You can, as an athlete, decide, do I really want this? Do I really want to be a member of the team moving forward? Maybe I'm just a sophomore and I still have a couple of years after this school year to potentially be a member of this team. If the answer is no, that's on you and that's fine. And as a coach, I genuinely and truly wish you the best. I hope you find something that you can be involved in and enjoy and find some, you know, some friends that you can connect with, or, whether it's a different coach or a staff sponsor or an adult in the building that you can, enjoy being around, that you can trust. I really hope the best for you. But if the answer to that question is yes, you now have essentially a 12-month off season. You've got a full year if you're not playing in any other sports, you're not doing anything else, or maybe in addition to those other things that you're doing, you have a 12-month off season. And go listen to our off season podcast about making a decision to get better and putting in the time, finding lessons, clinics, drills, club stuff, whatever you can find to put yourself in a better position to be on the team next year. If you do get cut, you decide you do want to be a part of the team, but you don't do anything for 12 months, you're not doing anything to help yourself out for the next round of tryouts, the next season. You're going to be in the same spot, and that's not going to solve your problem at all.
Which we see a lot of, like, well, not that we make cuts every year by any means, but the years that we have, whether that's somebody at the very bottom of our ladder or somebody who gets cut and they come back out the next year and they're in the same spot, right? Like, this is
Yeah,
kind of going back to the off-season work and stuff like that, but I think it directly relates to your conversation about you have to make that choice. You have to figure out what you want moving forward. There's a reason why you went out for the sport in the first place. Like,
right,
you're not just out here because it's whatever. You're doing it for a reason, and you gotta figure out if that's an important reason or if that reason can just kinda go away, right?
right.
I'm thinking very specifically about a player we had that year we made cuts,
Yeah,
and she was on the bubble, and, we kinda talked about it and figured it out. She came out the next year and she had improved, like, she
yeah,
she had made that decision that that's what she wanted to do. Maybe she didn't put in the most work in the off season or whatever, but, she came back out the next year and gave it another try, and we could tell that she had improved a little bit, right?
yeah,
And I think that's exactly what you're talking about in the sense of you just gotta figure it out. You gotta figure out what you want if you're on that cut line, if you do end up getting cut, whatever it is, and how you wanna move forward with it.
yep, yep. I think the player that you're talking about is going to be going into her maybe second year, and if we have to make cuts going into this season, I'm confident that she's probably well above the cut line.
Yep,
Like,
and
so she whatever.
I'm thinking of other players who got cut
Yeah,
that same year, and we haven't seen them since. We haven't seen them at summer camps, we haven't seen them out on the courts, we just they just kinda gave it up, right? Which is
yep,
fine, that there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you wanna do, but that was a decision that was made, right? A lot of
right,
these things we talk about boil down to making a decision, figuring out what you wanna do, and putting your time and energy and effort into it. It's that
yep.
simple.
On the same lines of making a decision, that decision is made by the coaches of who to have on the team in any given year if cuts are being made. It's really important, if you do end up being cut, to not take that personally. That
Yes.
I don't know any coach that says, "I don't like you as a person, so I'm not gonna have you on my team."
Yep.
The
Never met a
the
coach like that.
the decision of who to keep or who to have on your team, just like the decision of putting somebody on varsity or JV or second string or third string or whatever, there are way more things that go into that decision than just, can you shoot a basketball or
Yep.
can you hit a serve? Things like when we have to make cuts, when we do have a season that we have to make cuts, I have to think about, where does this set us up for success for this particular season? And also, how does it set us up for success in the future?
Yep.
I think in 10 years of coaching, I think I've made cuts. So sorry, 9 years. I'm going into 10. That's 18 seasons of boys and girls. I've probably made cuts 4 or 5 times total, so not very many. But
Yeah.
when I do, it's a decision of where's our success gonna be? How can the people that I'm keeping on the team feed into the overall program? I've had first year seniors come out because maybe they have friends on the team. It's not likely that I'm gonna keep a first year senior on a year that I have to make cuts. It's not likely I'm gonna keep a first year senior that's never played tennis before
When you have freshmen.
when I have maybe a first year freshman that I'm gonna have in the program for 4 seasons. And so things like that, grades and attendance at school and things like
Yeah.
that also factor into it. Maybe if we're talking about right now at the beginning of the school year, you don't have grades in the grade book for teachers, but I can look at your grades from last year and that gives me a good picture of what kind of student you are. How do you represent yourself in the school? Do I want Olathe South Tennis on a shirt on your chest as you walk through the school building? And how does that represent our program and things like that? So it's not a personal decision. It's not vindictive at all. There's more than what you might think that goes into making that kind of decision to tell somebody that you can't be a part of our team. It's the worst part of my job as a coach. 100%
You're
hands down.
You're talking about, like, that's the coach's decision, right? And we've talked multiple times about controlling the things that are within your control. And at the
Yeah,
beginning, you're talking about being yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not, right? Like
yeah,
that's your advice for people trying these sports. If you do that, if you take care of your business and you handle the things that like are in front of you, then like that coach's decision is out of your control,
right.
essentially. Like you took care of everything you needed to. Now we're just kind of trusting the process and we're letting things happen. And if it happens, then we're going to figure out what the next best thing is, what the next best
Yeah,
thing to do is, right? One foot in front of the other.
yep,
And so like everything kind of just boils down to A, like I said earlier, making decisions, and B, controlling what you have control over, going out there and
yep,
being yourself and being your friendly person. Go be friendly. If you're not the most athletic person, but you got good energy, bring the energy. Like that
bring that
stuff stands
energy.
out. We're not looking for the best athletes because Lord knows we don't have the best athletes. Like that's just a thing with all high school programs is if you have a
Yep,
really good athlete, you're really lucky. You're working with kids who just want to play the sport for fun and
right.
enjoy it. And so we want to see who you are as a person, as a student, as a tennis player, as a whatever it may be, right? That's what's important in my eyes as a coach when it comes to trying out. Controlling the things you can control, letting the coaches make
Yeah,
the decision. If that doesn't go in your favor, if you don't like it, figure out what you're going to do about it. What's the
yeah.
next step?
So you mentioned a couple things, and I'm going to kind of lead you into something that you normally already talk about. But I want to know from a coach's perspective, what are some of the tangible things that
Mm,
an athlete can do during tryouts
my
to
favorite.
to give them the best shot of making the team that they want to make or the spot that they want to get? What are some things that an athlete can do, maybe some specifics that will help them to control what they can control or will allow them to put the decision into the coach's hands.
I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't know how to segue myself into that. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy.
We're on the twin telepathy here. I number
That's right,
one,
that's right.
first and foremost, be on time. Be on time. There is no excuse when you are at the
That's
school
huge.
to be late
That's
to
so
practice.
huge.
If we're practicing at a different location, I understand there's traffic, there's whatever. There is zero excuse for you when it is a 5-minute walk from that door to the courts, and we give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes before practice starts. There's no reason for you to be late. Be on time. Simple as that. Another thing that I look for is how you kind of interact with your teammates or the other people on the court, right? I don't want to see negative mindset, behavior type stuff. I don't want to see you bashing the person on your court, whether it's in a joking manner or not. I don't want to see that during try. I don't want to see it at all. but especially
Right.
during tryouts. Like we talked about earlier, it's more than just a skill. It's a lot about how you fit in with the team. If you're encouraging other people, I know that you're going to be a good fit for the team, and I automatically want that on my team, right?
Yep. Yep.
So be on time, have good attitudes towards other people, listen to your coaches. Duh. Like that's a given. But you'd be surprised how many times you throw something out there and you get pushback from, anybody and everybody.
Or
I've
my
so and so go for it.
Well, okay. My one of my least favorite things is I spend 2 minutes with the whole group explaining a drill. I have a demo of people that have done the drill before. This is what we're doing. This is how we hit the ball. This is the pattern. This is how you play your game or play the points or whatever. All right, you guys, you're going to that court. Go,
No idea.
coach. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Like,
Classic.
don't be that. Pay attention and listen to your coaches.
Yep.
There's a reason that they're
Well,
doing what they're doing.
listen to the instruction, like listen to what you're doing, the different drills, whatever,
Yeah,
but also listen to the feedback and the instructions,
sure.
right?
Yep.
Like you make a great point. I think I was more going down the path of, hey, change your grip on your serve, whatever, right? Well, my dad tells me to do it like this. Well,
Oh,
okay.
oh,
I would love to hear your dad's credentials.
I love it when your dad tells you how to do something, but sweetheart,
Yeah,
your dad's not your coach.
it's not here right now. You're doing it my way or the
Yep,
highway, right?
that's right.
So 3 I don't remember how many that is. Be on time, be good to your teammates, good attitude, listen to your coaches, and lastly is just, like, give your best effort. Just
Effort,
just try hard. Like,
hustle,
well, hustle. Yeah. That's what I wanna see. I don't care. I really don't care if you are the least athletic person in the world. If you're hustling after every ball, that stands out to me more than being like, "Wow, you're really athletic. You're fast," or whatever, right?
100%.
It's the intangibles. It's the doing the things that you don't have to do
Yep,
because it's kind of ingrained in you and that's like who you are.
yep,
That's the kind of person that I want on a team, and that's what I look for. So what is that? 4, 5, 10,
yeah.
like actual things.
That's a good list.
Please be on time. Like, nothing irks me more than somebody who is late. This could be, I'm meeting up with friends for dinner and they're late. This could be, I've got a hot date next weekend and she's late to the movie. This could be literally anything. Just you set a time, you say practice is at 3 o'clock. School is out at 2:40. I'm probably getting my times messed up,
No,
but
that's right. You got those
oh, that's
exactly
right.
right.
Let's go. Let's go. You are expected to be at the courts at 3 o'clock, by 3 o'clock. But that doesn't mean you have to be there at 2:59. Be there early. I'm getting off topic here, but there was a player last year who didn't play a single match for us because she got injured early in the season. And I'm
Yep,
thinking of times that I showed up to the courts and she's already there. Like she's already there and she's just chatting it up and she just wants to hang out with her friends and she wants to, be social.
yeah.
Why are we running late to practice? Now, in my situation, if I have another job that I'm coming from, it might be a little different because I'm not on the campus, right? So, get out of jail free card for me. But if you are a student athlete, you should be getting to practice and tryouts on time, 100% of the time.
I think that right there is a direct product of the way we were raised.
What, my get out of jail free card or
No, the
uh,
punctuality, the importance of being on time. Like,
I think you're right. I
I
mean, I think
because
of
I feel I echo everything that you have just said. Like, the if you make a commitment to something, whether it's a date or a job or a team, you have said that you're going to fulfill a task, to do a thing. And if you don't do that thing, or if you don't arrive at the agreed upon time, you are telling the people that are in charge of you that you don't respect their time, that you don't value their commitment to whatever the thing is. So,
I think de
if I, as a coach, see a player that is coming late with no excuse just because they weren't managing their time well, I immediately am thinking they don't think that it's important to be a member of this team. They don't think that my time that I put into this program or this practice session is as important as their time walking from the bathroom or wherever. Like it shows the people that are in charge that you don't care. That your level of investment into that activity isn't as high as everybody else that's already running their warm-up laps, or all of your other coworkers that clocked in on time and are starting their job already. Your time is more important than their time, or more important than your boss's time, and that's not the kind of person that I want on my team. That's not the kind of person I want as a coworker. Punctuality is a massive thing, just in terms of showing respect for the people that
Yep.
deserve that respect.
I you bring up that it was a product of, like, our being raised, how we were
Yeah,
raised, right? And I I couldn't agree more. I can't think of a single time that mom and dad were like, I'm sure they were. They have to have been late for something, right? But whether it was practice or whether it was like tournaments or jobs, right? Like it was just stressed beyond belief that you're on time, right?
yeah,
This isn't a recommendation that you're at this place by this time and you like they'll
no,
work
yeah,
around you. You're scheduled at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're there at 7:45 sitting in the break room ready to clock in, right? Like, it's just that's how important it is and how important it
yeah,
was to our parents. And they just kinda
yeah,
passed it down. I think it kind of relays as coaches. But the other thing I was gonna say is if you're gonna be late, communicate. Communicate that, right? If you have to stay late and take a test, if your grades are bad and you need to study a little, whatever it may be, communicate that with the
yeah.
coach. And don't assume that somebody else is gonna tell the coach, "Hey, can you tell coach that I
No,
gotta run home and get my clothes real quick?" I see your reaction. The amount of times that somebody's been like, "Well, yeah, he said to tell you that he was gonna be a little bit late." Okay, well, why didn't he tell me that he was gonna be a little bit late? Like, that's just not how it works. It's just not. When
no.
does it ever work like
Like,
that?
when somebody tells me that, and that happens multiple times a season. "Hey, so
So
and so
many
said
times.
that they're gonna be late because they have to go take a quiz." Thank you, person, teammate, for telling me that. I'm not upset at
Appreciate
you.
it.
I'm upset at this other person that, okay, all it takes is a message to coach.
Yep. And
"Hey, I
there's
gotta go
outlets to
take a
do that.
quiz because I." Yes, we have all sorts of messaging things to take care of. Like,
You work in the school.
And and
Stop by
and
your classroom.
what if said teammate forgets on accident? "Shoot, yeah, so and so, I oh man, I forgot to say, yeah, I don't care. That's not your fault, teammate. That's this person's fault for trying to have a teammate communicate that." Like, just take the initiative, communicate that with your coach. If you have something that your coach needs to know, you tell them.
You tell them.
That's
You
that's
tell them.
during tryouts, after tryouts, I don't care when. Don't rely on somebody else to communicate a point that is
There's n
your
It's
point
not their
to
job.
communicate.
It's not
Yes.
their job.
Thank you.
It is
I
your
got
job.
fired up about that one. Thanks, Coach Austin. Whew.
I got you, buddy. I got you. What I I think it's about time for a cat lightning round.
I you know?
I'm so very unprepared, but I think this is the best when it's just kind of, off the dome here.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, if you don't mind, do you mind?
Let's let's take it. Let's do it.
It is the cat lightning round.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, would you like to go first or second today?
Uh,
We're gonna have guests on, and we're just gonna like spring this on them, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell is wrong with these two kids?"
well, if they are listeners, they'll know what to
You're
expect.
right. That's how we weed them out. If they're like, what
Wait,
just
what?
happened?"
What's a
Then we'll
what
be
does
like,
cat lightning mean?
"Get out. This episode is not airing. You're
No.
gone. You're
Cut.
cut from the team. This was a tryout, and you're cut." Anyway, would you like to go first? Number one or number two?
Uh, well, uh, I'll ask questions first.
Okay. I know. I feel like I know what was going on in your head there, but I feel like
I
it
was
just
debating
wasn't
on whether or not I should say something, how I should say it, but I decided I'd just not say it. Not It's
family
probably
friendly
best.
podcast. Family
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
You want first? Let's rock and roll. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. These questions may or may not be related to our topic of conversation today, and I think that that's
All
okay.
day. Let's do it.
Question number 1, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Ooh, actually, it was a very minimal breakfast. I'm on a strict diet, some would call, but it
Okay,
was
okay.
a Chobani Flip yogurt, gas, 10 out of
Ooh,
10, cookie dough
okay.
flavored.
What'd you flip?
Now I
What was
got
the flip in?
cookie dough.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know, you've seen the flips?
Yeah, 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 yeah. With the
Yeah.
2 compartments and you flip
Yep,
and
yep.
then you stir.
Flip.
Yeah,
Hence the name Flip.
flips,
Well,
right.
I've got some beef with them because I there's some flavors that have a lot of the flip-ins, and there's some that don't have a
Ah,
lot of flip-ins. Cookie dough is one of the ones that doesn't have a lot of flip-ins, and I could use a lot more cookie dough in there, but
yeah,
I'll talk to Chobani about it if I have to.
yeah. Send them an
Mm.
email.
So I had that, and then I had they're like these little wafer granola bar type things. Ooh, they're so good. I've got blueberry flavored, I've got strawberry flavored, and that's all I had. But I do like to just kind of eat through the day. My
Yeah,
dietitian, shout out to Kate, she has kind of helped me figure out, like how to eat properly instead of just
there you
eating
go.
because I can, eating when I'm hungry. So
Yeah, good job, Kate.
I keep snacks on me. I keep
Yeah,
that thing on me at all times
stay
just in
strapped.
case you get hungry. So my, like, second breakfast, as, the Lord of the Rings folk would call it,
Yep,
consisted of Uncrustables because I just freaking love Uncrustables. So there's the answer.
love it. Okay, put you on the spot, maybe you have to think a little bit on this one. What is your worst tryout experience?
It's a really good question. I'm just naturally good at everything. So
Okay.
everything I've ever tried out for, I've just, gotten the part or whatever. No, I'm thinking of it's just kind of embarrassing, I guess. It wasn't really bad. I remember he might not want us to talk about this one, or I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Dad had us try out, or at least like
Yeah.
when we were kids, he had us play matches against
Oh, yeah.
his teams or the other people trying out. And you just kind of do you remember this or am I
Yeah, like,
absolutely
before we
crazy?
got to high school, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and kinda
Yeah,
see where we're at on the ladder, right? Just like I don't know
yeah,
why he did it. It was really fun, but I was really proud because I think at whatever age I was, obviously I was multiple years out of high school. I think
yeah.
I would have been number 1 on JV, and I
Hey,
was
there you
like,
go.
"This is the coolest thing," and I think I went around to each person that, like, was below me and like, "Screw you, dude. I'm in 5th grade and I'm better than
No,
you in high
you no,
school."
you
Like,
didn't.
I remember saying it to some people.
There's no way
I
you
remember
did that.
saying it to some like, probably wasn't the smartest thing. I don't think dad knows about it. I don't know, like, it was obviously a very long time ago. So,
I'm
yeah, I
better than
was
you and I'm
yeah.
only in 5th grade.
Yeah, screw you, buddy. You should give up tennis for the rest of your life. You suck. It was a really cool experience. I wish I handled it differently, but it was just kinda, like, neat to see where we stacked up on the competition.
Yeah. Jeez.
Sorry, dad. Sorry, dad. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Not proud of it.
Okay, next question, and maybe not so much kind of a question, but nice background, nice setup.
Ooh, you noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'd like to take this
It's almost like you
opportunity
got a studio.
not quite.
Ooh.
One would think, but thank you for noticing. This is great. My wife and I moved into a house. We didn't buy
Hey,
it. We're renting, but that's okay.
that's
And
alright, that's alright. Big money moves.
I have my own space. I have my own space.
Hey.
This is crazy because if you saw you saw the background of the last place that I was recording at, right? This league's better because let me just give you a little tour real quick, okay?
Yeah, give it to us.
This is not a certificate. This Andrew thought this was a certificate. It's actually a
It's
diploma,
hard to
which I
see
guess
from
is
this.
it's a form of a certificate. Mom and dad made this for us. I think you have one too, just kind of our,
Yeah,
athletic adventures. University of Minnesota, go Gophers. I've got
go
these really
Gophs.
cool lights here. I got the blue and the yellow for,
I love that.
set point.
I
Like,
like that a lot.
and I wasn't gonna show this off, but since you brought it up, I
Okay.
do have right here,
Oh,
to
we're
be seen
moving.
on future episodes.
Yes.
Let me move some things around here. Couch.
Ooh,
So,
love love the couch.
you and me right here and right here just chatting it up,
I
kinda like we
think
did in Wichita for state tennis that one time.
I think you're onto something.
And can I just show it off real quick? Can I just my prized possession.
Go for it, buddy.
Do I have
Do
permission?
it.
Okay, you guys can get the full room tour here. Okay. This it's on a video game right now, I apologize, is everything to me. This is this is me and my best friend. Look at us smiling together. That's that is a basketball-shaped, leather-wrapped television, and let me tell you what,
Big money moves,
best
right?
best investment I have ever made in my entire life. I every time I look at it, dude, I just kinda laugh to myself because 'cause I've never seen anything like it, but,
Yeah, I
um
I also do, but I feel like probably for different reasons.
well, that's okay because I saw it and I had to have it, you know? But this is where sessions happen. This is where recordings happen. One day, if time allows it, if schedules allow it, a little in-person set point sessions with the Bash Bros would
Yep,
go crazy here. So, yeah, new background, new me, new place, new everything, dude. We're just kind of
love
on
it.
track to, improve our lives a little.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
last
you
question, last question.
last one, okay. Let's do it.
Uh, one of the things
Lock in.
yeah, 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 I'm trying to not be super obvious, but, you we're hanging out with the family on Saturday.
We
One
are.
of the things that the place that we're hanging out at has is bowling,
Oh, yes, yes.
so we're going bowling on Saturday. What are you shooting?
Like I said earlier, I'm just naturally good at everything I do. So, because
Course,
of
right.
that, I don't know, 250, 275. That's
Maybe
a joke.
total in all of the games that we play, maybe total points.
Maximum score for a single game. If I don't get 150 at some point, I'm gonna be upset. We'll just say 151. Is that possible to do in bowling? Can you get, like,
I'm
151?
sure. I'm sure you can probably score 151.
I don't know, man. My I've been hitting the weights lately, and I got these blisters on my hands.
Mm,
So, like, I just feel
yep,
like if I don't get it in the first game, I'm not gonna get it at all.
yeah. Go yeah,
Wait,
start writing the excuses down now because you might need 'em.
the important
I got
question,
blisters on my hand. I got calluses. I can't my arm's sore.
are
My elbow.
are we doing bumpers? We got we got your kids.
No, we're not doing bumpers.
What do you mean? You're gonna let your kids bowl on a non-bumpered lane?
No, dude, they have technology now. It's different than when we were
Nah.
kids. You can set the bumpers to come up and go down on certain bowlers. So,
Oh,
like, it can go up for the kids, and then, I bowl
uh,
immediately after, and they'll go down.
I hate that. I either want them up or down. That doesn't sound great. 151. 151 with my eyes closed. How about that?
With your eyes closed.
Blind
Got it.
blind bowling. Yep. All right. Um, okay. Let me let me get some inspiration from my room for questions that I could ask. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
Lay it on me.
You and I recently, in last couple weeks, hit the golf course together, right? Very fun experience. I always love
Always,
playing golf.
always.
Love playing golf with my brother, right? What is you've had a couple outings on the golf course. Just, here and there you've dabbled.
I dabble.
Give me a story, whether it's like the most fun you've had on the golf course or like just a really good shot you had or something. Give me like what's the golf story for you?
'Kay. Imma give you 2.
Two. Okay.
Yeah, you ask for 1, you get 2. It's just the way it goes. So,
That's right.
I am not a good golfer. Let's just throw that out there for the masses.
It's true. I
And
can
I
confirm.
but the good thing about it is that I know I'm not a good golfer, and so when I go onto the golf course, I don't have high expectations. I've never had high expectations of myself on the golf course. One of the funniest things that I have memory of on the golf course, and it comes up once a year on Facebook
I
memories,
think
and
I
you know
know
what I'm
what you're
talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
I don't know what year it was. We were probably in college, right?
You
Or
think?
I was or maybe
I think
was it
you might have
after?
been. I think you, like, came back for
Yeah.
a break or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't remember if it was just me and you. I think it was me, you, and dad. And
I'm gonna find the video.
yeah,
We're gonna put my editing skills to the test, and
put
I'm
it right there.
somewhere over maybe, like, right here on the window, I'll frame it, so,
Yeah.
like, we can just watch the
So
video
we can
together.
see, so everybody
A
knows what we're
long
talking
time
about here.
ago, we look a little different. It is what it
I'm still not good at golf. I gave just
is.
for those listening on Spotify, I gave my best attempt at the run up Happy Gilmore swing off the tee. And let me tell you,
Wasn't pretty.
it didn't work very well.
Did you
I
contact
it
with the ball at least?
no. The
Nope.
video's kinda blurry, you can't really see anything, but you can definitely if you listen close, you can hear the of the swing, and there's no of contact with the ball. There's no tink, there's no the ball stays on the ground, and yeah. So I'm not good at golf.
I don't know
I
how I'm
will
gonna
t
find this
I will
video, but I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, please do, please do. Second story, I've said more than once that I'm not good at golf. Most of the golf outings that I have had have been scramble format, right? Where
Mm.
you're on a team with the guys, one guy or two guys or three guys, maybe it's a four-person scrambler, whatever. And when I go out for a scramble, my goal is to always, have my shot be played 3 or 4 times on the whole course. Like that's how bad I am at golf. Like if I can get my shot played 3 or 4 times, that's a good day of golf for me. On the trip to Oklahoma City that we took, and for your bachelor party, we took you took the whole crew out golfing,
Squad. Whole squad went.
scramble format. I was partnered with a guy who's a lot better at golf than I am.
You can say his name. Feel free. Who is it? Do you recall?
Nope.
I can't even remember what group you were with.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry if you're listening to
I can
this guy who
I can
was
think
my
of a lot
partner.
of friends who it wasn't, because I do have some friends that are a lot worse at golf than you are, but I also
Yes.
have friends that are better at golf than you, so
I can't remember his name. But I had in the scramble world, golf world, it's called a solo when the whole hole is played on your shots.
Mm,
I had a solo par 3
wow.
on that course, and I was really proud of that. Even though it was a par 3, I off the tee was close to the green, chipped close to the pin and putted in. Yeah,
The camera zoom in, dude. We're all in on this story.
let's go.
Let's go.
Couple times ago while I was golfing, it was also scramble format. I wasn't out with you. Shout out Coach Drew Smith. We've talked golf on this podcast before, I think, with him. I had a solo par 4
Ooh,
in that scramble with
you're
him.
getting better.
I was pretty pumped about that one, honestly. And then the last time we went out, I didn't even par. So
That was a tough
that's
course. We went to
that's
the cheapest,
we
worst, best, just we just kinda
we
found the
did.
thing
We
and did it.
it was a golf course that matched my level of playing golf. Let's just put it that way.
That's all you need. That's
And
all you
that's
need.
what I need.
I played some bad courses. That one was not the worst one that I played.
Hey, there you
Like,
go. There you go.
I think I would play that one again, because here's the thing about golf. You gotta get your money's worth. I don't understand why the point is to shoot low,
100%.
because then you're
100%.
paying more per shot, right? Give me a course where I can pay $1 per shot, right? Like,
Love
if I'm
that.
paying $100 or even 50 cents per shot, 75 cents per shot, I wanna get my money's worth out of it.
Yeah,
And I think you're really good at getting your money's worth out of golf, Andrew. I think you're
I am. I
really
am.
good at it,
If we both pay $50 to go golf a course, my price per shot is way less than yours.
which essentially means that you're getting more out of it, more
And
practice.
I'm getting more reps.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I have more opportunities to improve my golf game than you do.
That is true. That is true. Okay, question number 2 here. What is you're always really excited for sports seasons to start, especially tennis seasons, obviously. What are you most excited for? For let's call it opening day. For day 1 of tryouts, what is the thing you're excited for the most as the head coach of your own program?
Most excited, I think, to see how our program can grow from last year. And any coach can probably kind of relate to this, but success long term kind of ebbs and flows. There are some years that you have a lot of team success, and some years maybe you don't have a whole lot of team success. 2 girls seasons ago, I felt like we had a pretty strong girls team for what we normally have out of Olathe South. Last year, after that season 2 years ago, we lost a whole bunch of seniors, and with those seniors left a lot of our experience and a lot of our success. And so last year we had maybe not as much success team-wise as maybe we were hoping for. But this year, like that's what I'm excited to see is, where we were at last year with the players that are returning, who's gotten better, who's put the work in over the off season, whether that's with me or elsewhere, and how can we as coaches maximize what we have in our team. Like that, it's always a challenge, you know, putting pieces together, trying to fit the puzzle pieces in the right way to get as much out of our crew as we can on any given season. So I'm excited for that.
For sure. It's a good answer. I like that.
Mm,
I wanna know what you're gonna bowl on Saturday. No bumpers,
Of
we've already established. You gotta show off for your wife and kids. Mm,
course,
like, where we what are we looking at here?
I'm gonna bowl a strike, and then
1
I'm gonna
strike?
bowl, and then I'm gonna bowl another strike, and then I'm gonna bowl another strike, and I think that's called a turkey.
Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you here real quick. Have you seen that, Stone Cold Steve Austin? He's like, "I drank a beer. I drank another beer.
Then I had another
I
one,
drank another
and then
beer."
I had another beer.
That's why I thought you were going with that with the strike. I'm gonna get a strike, and then I'm gonna get another strike, and then I'm gonna get another strike. Oh, man. So you're just gonna string together turkeys.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
4 strikes, I think, is a ham bone.
mm,
I think I'm using bowling terms the right way. Fact
I
check me
think
on
you're
that one.
wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
What is 4 strikes in a
But
row?
while you're busy sleuthing the internet, in reality, my goal is like 145, 140, 145. That's
Okay.
usually a good game of bowling for me. If your goal is 151, then mine's 152. Sorry about it.
I guess you're just gonna have to stay tuned for the next episode to see where
See
we're
how it turns out.
who came out on top. 4 strikes in a row in bowling is called a ham bone or a four-bagger. The
Four
term
bagger,
ham bone
okay.
was popularized by sports broadcaster Rob Stone. That's interesting. While
All right.
four-bagger follows the traditional numerical naming style used for longer streaks. That's good. I'm impressed that you knew that.
Yeah,
Ham
man.
bone,
Ham
ham
bone.
bone,
Used
ham
to be my
bone.
used to be my nickname back in high school.
Yeah, that's what they called me back in high school was ham bone.
Ham bone.
Hey, you seen that guy Hambone? He's tough out there on the tennis court. That's of course why you played tennis and not bowling, right? Like
Of course, of course. 4 aces in a row. It's called a ham bone or a
Hambone.
four bagger.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, last question. Last question, and I'm only asking this because I'm recently getting back into the Avengers movie. I saw the trailer for Doomsday, and something inside of me was like, "Dude, I got to get caught back up." Do you have a favorite Marvel movie, or if you don't, favorite superhero? Marvel super.
Uh,
I feel like you're not as into it as some people
no,
are.
I mean, so the wife and I several years ago made it a point to sit down and watch, you mean up to that point, all of the Marvel movies that had been
Mm.
released. And so that was like, Iron Man and Captain America at, number one, all the way through. I can't remember what we watched up to, but I know it was like Endgame and Infinity War and all like, I can't remember. I don't know what phase that is. Phase one, two,
I
three,
think that's
four,
like
five,
phase
whatever.
well, there's phase 1, I have it written on my board here, and then there's phase 2,
Okay.
but I think, like, 3 and 4 kind of get more, like, they bring more people in and s
Yeah. So probably my favorite. I'm just trying to think. Probably Endgame. I think is probably my favorite
it's a good one.
single Avengers movie. I do really like if we're talking individual superhero movies, not the Avengers movies altogether. I really like Captain America: Civil War. I think that was a really good one. If we're talking just straight up superheroes, obviously we're staying in the Marvel Universe MCU here. I really like the way that Tom Holland plays Spider-Man.
Yep.
I don't know if Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel superhero. Probably have to go with Captain America on that one. Call me classic and cliche,
USA.
but that's right. Probably Captain America.
Here's my argument here. Batman and Iron Man are not
Same guy.
superheroes.
No,
They're
they're the same
just
guy.
rich. They're
Yep.
just rich. You have all the money in the world. You have access to technology. That doesn't make you a superhero. It makes
Nope.
you really rich. That's my take. There's a guy
Agreed.
at my work, shout out Trey, he will probably never listen to this,
Nope.
loves Batman. And I love rage baiting him with just, he's
He's
just a
not
billionaire.
he's not a real superhero.
He can afford this stuff. I could be Batman if I had enough money. It's
Yeah.
just that simple.
Why can't
It's just
Elon
that
Musk
simple.
be Batman? Like
Mm.
do something good with your money, dude.
Yeah, like, give it to me.
So I can be
That's
Batman?
so I can be Batman. Classic. Oh, goodness. It's late, and you actually start school tomorrow, don't you?
I do. I have to wake up and
I'm
go to school.
sorry. I
Mm.
apologize. That's tough, but, it's
Yes.
life of a
Yes,
teacher,
it
isn't it?
is. Yep. It's,
Well
not looking forward to it, but whatever.
it'll be a good year. It'll be a good year for you. I, as always, just would like to give shout out. If you're an athlete, if you're somebody looking for the mental health type stuff for athletes, let me know. Reach out to me. Yeah, we got a lot of things coming up for the fall, and I'm excited for things to happen. And yeah, if you just email me, if you text me, if you DM me on like Instagram or something, like just do it. Even if you don't end up signing up for sessions, like just start that conversation. Open up that door to get more
I'm
resources and, get some things answered.
Yeah, so, like, this guy, if you're an athlete listening, if you're a parent listening, if you're a coach listening, this guy does individual sessions, one-on-one. This guy does team workshops and team sessions. So if you're a coach or you're an athlete and you want this for your whole team, these kinds of conversations and, workshops to work on the mental side of your sport, he has that as an option. He's willing to work with youth, he's willing to work with college age kids, willing to work with adults that are in club athletics, whether that's, tennis or golf or whatever it might be. If you're just looking to get better, if you've got the yips or something, or if you want to build your confidence or whatever it might be, like this guy is your guy and you need to hit him up. His schedule is filling up, so get in now.
Wow. I just need
How's
you
that
to
for a
like
promo,
introduce
buddy?
me. You just gassed me up, man. That's great.
Heck
Thank you.
yeah. I'll be your hype.
I'm gonna echo what he just said. Yeah, thank you for that. That's great.
You're welcome.
I need you to introduce me at my like, workshops and stuff. Like I don't know if I trust you to be like,
And now
and
introducing
it's time. I just come out, rip my shirt off, and get the crowd going before my presentation. That's a classic.
leave
Um,
the shirt on. Leave the shirt on.
Probably professional to leave the shirt on. You're probably right. Well, if you're listening still, thank you. Share this with somebody that you think could use this. You got a friend who has a kid who starts practice on
Yep,
Monday. Talk or next Monday, I guess is what we're doing. Send
yep,
it to them. Like listen to this. If you have any questions, reach out to me. If you're an Olathe South student, you want to talk to Andrew about it, talk to him. We are here to help and we are here to guide. Whether, we're doing that with 2 people or 25 people or whatever it is, we're doing it anyway. So you might as well get on board with it.
that's right.
You got anything else to say before we shut it down and close this thing out?
Nah, that the little hype train right there was all I had to deliver, so,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, I'm excited to see you on Saturday and obviously with all the family and stuff like that.
yep,
We'll let everybody know who wins this bowling matchup because
yep,
it's pretty important. But this has been Austin and that's been Andrew. I've been Billy.
and I've been
I've
Willie,
been Willie.
and you've
And
been
you've been
watching
watching Set
Spotlight
Point
on
Sessions.
Beer.